Should we do a shop tour? I don't have a project video for you this week or next week, but I often hear from people asking if I could do an updated shop tour. I guess it's been a couple of years since I did a shop tour. And while I really don't have any significant new tools to show you, I can show you other changes I've made in the shop that you may not have noticed on the show, and I can talk about some changes that I'm thinking about making. If you look at the bottom of your screen, that's a purple bench that's in my front yard. And this is what my house looks like from a couple hundred yards away, up on top of this big hill across the street, which is all completely dry right now because it never rains in California, and this could all just go up in flames any second now. One thing I've been wanting to do for a long time is paint a big "Hi Google" on top of my roof. There's always a lot of traffic noise here because we're about a half a mile away from the 101 freeway. Somebody's been building up here, or at least they started to, and probably gave up when they decided it's a lot of work hauling all that lumber up this hill. And here's what my shop looks like from the bottom of the hill. There's two ways into my shop: the garage door or through the kitchen into my office. I'm actually editing this video right now. Any second now. Inception. Usually go out to my shop this way, through this door. My shop is a two-car garage, but I also kind of use all of this outdoor area as part of my shop too, including my truck. I use this to haul lumber and all sorts of things, but you've also seen me use the bed as an additional workbench. My dad bought this truck brand new in 1976. My dad didn't drive this truck a whole lot, and I don't drive it a whole lot either, which is why I like to show off this. This truck has 121,000 original miles on it. And that's not too bad for a truck that's almost 40 years old. I've always kept my table saw right at the front of my shop so that I can pull it out really easily. I love being able to use it outside all year round. Those of you who are new to my show may not realize that that saw was given to me by a bunch of guys online who secretly got together and raised money. These are their names up here. You've probably seen this plaque. It was all spearheaded by Elaine Shaughnessy, and I am forever indebted to all of these guys. They really helped get Woodworking for Mere Mortals off the ground, up and running. For 13 years, right in the center of my shop, I've had this big 4-foot by 8-foot workbench that I've always enjoyed because I could walk all the way around it, and it's great for setting things on. Sometimes too many things get piled up on it. Lately, I've been kind of considering paring it down and making a smaller version, maybe 3-foot by 7-foot, which would give me more room around it. Aside from painting the walls white, the biggest shop improvement I've made in the past year was to bring this workbench out away from the wall. So now I have access all around it too. One of the things I really love about my shop is that I have a lot of natural lighting. I always have the garage door open, and I put that window in when we moved into this house. But for shooting video, I need more light. So I have 5 banks of these 8-foot long daylight balanced fluorescent bulbs. Lumber storage is always a problem. No matter how much space I have, I always seem to fill it up. I built this rack here a couple of years ago thinking that that would be plenty of space. It's filled up. In fact, I've got these boards sitting right here because I just don't have any more room left on that rack. I've got lumber down here, and here, and here. Ooh, there's some more. And this. And all of my pallet wood. 2 sliding closet doors from my closet makeover. And melamine left over from that same job. There's wood in this rafter above my garage door. Let's not forget that this is all filled with scraps of lumber. Hey, look who's here. It's my shop cat. Her name is Kitty. The first thing I'm thinking about changing is getting rid of this tool hutch. It has a lot of tools on here that I don't use that often. This is my worst workbench for clutter. It's always filled with junk. I think the main reason I built this is because I thought it looked cool in a woodworking shop, but it's not really that efficient. I think if I took it down and just hung French cleats on the wall, it would be better. I still have plenty of room if I want to add stuff. I've got this empty wall here that's been sitting here for 6 months. I'm trying to change the way I think about a shop, that if I have an empty space, I need to figure out something to put there. I kind of like having this blank wall. If you're looking for extra storage space in your shop, don't forget about the space behind the door. I love having my clamps stored there. Another thing I really love having in my shop is a utility sink. If you're setting up a shop for the first time and if you have plumbing available, definitely put in a sink. I'm not so sure I like having my power tools up here in these shelves. It's a little bit difficult to reach them. Well, I've got the lathe and my scroll saw over here. So I'm thinking about moving those, and that would free up a space here that I could put a lumber rack in. But somehow, no matter how many storage solutions I come up with, I still manage to clutter them up. This is my finishing cart here that has 2 doors on each side, but it's just piled with stuff. And this I love having for spray paints and other types of finishes, but it's completely full now, so it's overflowing. I still like this system for hanging my various table saw sleds. They're just hanging from these chains, so I can kind of sort through them easily. Once in a while, somebody asks me about this little door and what's behind the door and what's the mystery spot. That's just this tourist attraction down in Santa Cruz with one of these optical illusion houses that sits on a hill, really weird, and it all has to do with aliens. It's just entrance to my crawl space that goes under the house, and it's also filled with junk. I love my green sliding door cabinet, and I haven't filled it up yet. Something really ambitious that I don't know if I'll ever really get to is right out here, around back of my shop, is this garden shed. Think what a great place this would be for either storing lumber or especially putting in a dust collection unit out here. Right now it just has the lawnmower and gardening junk, so I guess I'd have to figure out where to put that. But it'd also be nice to build a storage shed over here. Thanks for watching, everybody, and my next project video will be on July 11th. Of course, you can always keep up with me over on Facebook and Twitter. I'll be posting there for the next couple weeks too.